Michelle here, Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Coach, mental health therapist, and certified trauma therapist. And today, I just really have to talk about this topic. I've gotten comments on some of my videos about this particular topic, and I just feel like it's important to address it because I've had some thoughts about it, and I will share that. But as you see from the title of this video, is the narcissistic abuse awareness community creating more problems? Are people getting kind of armchair diagnosed by people who are not clinically trained and certified to diagnose? Is the term narcissist being overused, and all of the behaviors, gaslighting and such that go along with that? Listen, I'm going to talk about that, but let me first share about the comment. So the person who sent this comment on my video, one of my videos, I'm not going to say her name, although the comment is public and it was placed on a public video. So it's not like this person was trying to hide their opinion or anything like that. But they pointed out the fact that because of people like me and others who make videos and put out content on social media about narcissists, that they had mistakenly misjudged, misbelieved, and I guess tried to diagnose themselves, one of their family members, as a narcissist. And they stopped talking to them, and I guess it just caused a lot of emotional harm to this person's life, as well as the family member that they thought was a narcissist. This person was just saying that, you know, it's our fault. Those of us in the community who talk about this problem. And, you know, I had some mixed feelings about that. One, I had some compassion for the person who left the comment, because it made me feel sad for her that because she misjudged and tried to diagnose her loved one herself as a narcissist, that she ended up cutting off someone that was near and dear to her, that ended up having other problems that they needed help for. Yeah, I felt sad for her. I had some compassion for her. I also started to question, and I have many times, y'all, questioned, should I keep making these videos? For those types of reasons, because when people, lay people who are non-mental health professionals, when they have access to certain information, then I think it is pretty natural to want to try and diagnose people yourselves. It's not healthy to do that, okay? Can you understand signs of narcissism and point out the fact or take note of the fact that someone in your life has some of those characteristics, those narcissistic tendencies? Absolutely you can. You're not diagnosing them. So you guys who are watching these videos and you walk away thinking that you know for a fact that someone is a narcissist without getting any professional counsel, that is your choice to do that. No one is really responsible for that. It's no one's fault, right? Because we're trying to find out what's going on in our lives. Like this woman who left the comment, you know, obviously there were some issues with her loved one that kind of looked like narcissism, or she didn't know, and she was trying to find out what is happening. And so as a result, she mistakenly believed this person was a narcissist. Now, do I think the term narcissist is overused? I do. And I do for the reasons that I just gave. Because instead of those of us, you know, in the community watching these videos, instead of acknowledging that, you know, some of these people in my life have some of these traits that I hear about, that I'm reading about, that I'm learning about, that's one thing. But to just diagnose them yourself, yeah, you don't want to do that. So there's that, and that is sort of an issue. Anytime something becomes popular and then people start to reject it and get tired of hearing it and all of that, which I understand, because I've been on the fence many times about, do I still want to make videos about narcissism? Do I want to take my channel in a different direction? What do I want to do? Because of this reason, because social media is so oversaturated with content about narcissists. But every time I sort of make a decision to fall back from that, I always change my mind, and let me tell you why. And this is what I told the young lady on the comment, okay? First of all, everyone is not a narcissist. I have a video, which I will link at the end of this one, indicating that not everyone is a narcissist because they have narcissistic traits. There is a difference between someone, we all have some level of narcissism. It exists on a spectrum. We all have it on some level. When it is on a higher level and it is pathological, it is more problematic, then there's a certain set of criteria that one has to meet to be diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. So in my videos, when I talk about the narcissist, I'm talking about an actual personality disorder. But let me tell you the reason I still make these videos and tell you what I told her. There was a time in my life, you know, my major shattering. And I was watching a YouTuber who used to use that term. And if you are familiar with that, then you know who I'm talking about. The shattering. And this is the lowest point that you find yourself in with the narcissist, where they completely just destroy you. So when I was at that point, I've had multiple narcissists in my life. Let me just say that. He was the last one, the one I'm about to mention. But this occurred in 2016, and there was a moment in my life I literally thought I was going to die, okay? There was physical abuse and violence and all of those things, but there was also a lot of manipulation, control, emotional abuse, all of the things that go along with narcissism. Now, I understood narcissistic personality disorder, or so I thought, because I was a therapist then. I was a clinical social worker. I knew about this condition. I didn't know people in my life, people that I chose as romantic partners, people who were my friends. I didn't see the signs of these people, and I was confused about what was going on in my relationship. Why was this person so abusive to me on so many levels in so many different areas in my life? Why do I feel like even though I know this, I can't let go of them? Why am I still bonded to this person? And I started seeking out information about these types of abusive relationships. And I came across the term narcissistic abuse. This was at the time people were really starting to become more aware of narcissistic abuse syndrome. This is when people were like putting the information out on social media so that others could have access to it. And I found some of these videos. I started doing some reading. Ross Rosenberg was another person who really helped me out a lot. I read the human magnet syndrome, and I understood more about my own codependency and how me being a codependent attracts narcissists and makes me attracted to them. I learned so much. But again, what I told her and what I always go back to, and I've told my now husband, who's amazing, not a narcissist, that community literally and figuratively saved my life. It was informative. It was educational. I had a community of people who understood on a personal level what I was going through. I had support because I was on one of these YouTube channels. They did live like support groups, and I was a part of that. I learned so much. I grew so much. I got out of that situation and I never went back. Now, I mean, during the process, of course, I went back to the narcissist a few times, but I eventually left for good. I know how much that community helped me. And that's why I started this channel. That's why I want to help other people understand narcissistic personality disorder. I want people to understand narcissistic abuse. But more importantly, because that is not my focus and that should not be yours, I recognize that once I got all the information I needed to about the narcissists and their tactics, I had to start moving on to my own healing, looking at myself and asking hard questions. How did I end up in this position in the first place? What is it about me that is still unresolved, unhealed, that I need to go back to and I need to do some work on? Because, the abuse was not my fault. But I recognize, wait, I have a pattern of choosing people like this. And the fact that I let it get to the point where it did, no, I had to look inward. So my focus is not so much on blaming the narcissist, judging people in your life and calling them narcissists, diagnosing people as narcissists when you're not licensed to do that. My focus is about healing. And even if you don't know for sure if someone you're dealing with is a narcissist, if you understand abuse, emotional abuse, manipulation, gaslighting, all of the things that you're seeing on, these popular social media sites, it doesn't mean necessarily you're dealing with a narcissist, but it does mean you're in an abusive relationship. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. So whether someone is a narcissist, they have some other untreated mental illness, they have untreated addiction, they have antisocial personality disorder, they're borderline, it don't matter. If you're in an abusive relationship, then it's still toxic, unhealthy, and all of the things as far as recommendations to deal with that would still apply. So if you're watching this and you're asking yourself, well, how do I know with all this information coming at me if I'm dealing with a narcissist? This is what I'm going to say. Talk to someone professional. They can't diagnose them if they're not assessing them, but they can give you some feedback as to what might be going on. They can give you some suggestions as to how you can handle it. But I will say this to you. Look at the behaviors. How's that person treating you? Are you being abused in any way? Emotionally, physically, psychologically? Do you feel safe? Do you feel loved? Is there any intentional harm in any way? Does this feel unhealthy? Is your gut telling you this is toxic? This isn't right for you? If that's the case, it doesn't matter what you label them as. That means it's still an unhealthy relationship. And all the advice that you hear about how to deal with the narcissist, you could also take heed to that. So that's all I want to say, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts about this. I know you got some thoughts. I get lots of comments about this. I get comments from people, for some reason, mostly guys, who don't like the fact that I talk about narcissists and, have negative things to say. But listen, let me know what you think, and don't go diagnosing people, and seek out professional guidance before you make any life-changing decision. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.